Okay, so hi everyone. It's so nice to be here, and this is my first ever DjangoCon, and I'm and it's my first time being a speaker as well. So it's so nice to be here. Okay, so let's start. Uh, so this talk will be about Zango. It's a framework which is built to accelerate the business app development, right? Okay. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name is Bhuvnesh Sharma, and currently I'm working as SD1 at Zeldi, and I'm maintaining the Zango framework full time. And I'm also the co-chair at social media working group at DSF. So, how many of you have seen the hashtag Django Feature Friday posts? You have? Yeah, so those are written by me. And I was also mentee in Google Summer of Code 2023. In 2024, I was a mentor, and this year I'm an org admin. And I'm also the founder of Django India community. So if you are active on LinkedIn, you must have seen some meetups post floating around LinkedIn. So yeah. Okay, the story. So I believe that every software that is built, it has a unique story behind it. The problem it solves, comes from the real world scenarios that people are actually facing, right? And okay. Yeah. So at Zeldi, we have been building custom business applications for years. We have been serving like some of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world, and we faced a lot of critical problems on a business level, and we solved them in a really cool way. And we are going to see how we solved them and what was the conclusion that came out of it. Yeah. So first challenge was building apps from scratch. So every time we went on building a software, we have to start it everything from scratch, like running, installing Django, and then creating like apps and running migrations and all those stuff. So it was kind of hectic for us, I guess everyone. And deployment costs. So every time we used to deploy any software, I mean, there are a lot of tricks which can save cost, but what we used to do, we used to spin up an instance, obviously, and then do all the configurations and stuff, and it was kind of costly, obviously, and repetitive code, right? So suppose you are building any custom business application, so you most importantly are going to need the user management, right? You need a role based access control, then you need authentication frameworks and all those stuff. So if you have that in one app and you are going to need that in another app, so the most common way is copy paste, but I don't think that is like a really good way. Yeah, so this was a really important problem. Similar to this, we have a lot of things which are really common in different business applications that we were building. Yeah, we broke things and we fixed them. I think everyone break things. Okay. And gradually, a superpower was born. We named it Zango. So after years of breaking and fixing things, we came across a common structure of code that we thought we could convert it into a framework, right? And we named it Zango. So it's a Django meta framework for building custom business applications. It extends the Django's opinionated approach, focusing on faster development, maintainability, and security. Okay, so what does a Zango project look like? So this is the structure of a Zango project. So basically, it has one root directory. In that, there is a folder which is workspaces, and then there is another folder with the same name called Zango projects, and the manage.py file stays in the root directory. Then inside the Zango projects folder, we have all the important things which are at a project level, like settings.py, URLs, and all those stuff. Then in the workspaces, we have different apps. So these are not the traditional Zango apps, sorry, Django apps. These are independent Django projects. Now we'll see how it works at the architecture level in the upcoming slides. Yeah, so suppose to-do app is a project. It contains some files, settings.json, manifest.json, and to-do is a module. So module is a different thing. And migrations are like, these migrations are specific to do app. And they are independent of the other apps like portfolio and issue tracker. So these are independent migration files. And inside the to-do modules, we have tables, URLs, views, like just like the traditional Django projects, right? Okay. Yeah. So here are some of the key features that we are going to talk about in Zango. First of all, user management. So, one second. Yeah, user management. So in the Zango framework, we have created a common user management module. In that module, what we can do is we can create users from the project. Like we don't need to like go to the code and do all the stuff manually. We can just create the user from the dashboard, and then we can just decide the roles for each user, which user has access to what part of the code or what view it has to go to. So this is the complete user management end to end, and the good thing is it is customizable because it's the traditional Django code. So you can just customize, override the things, and do it as per your requirements. Then we have app lifecycle management. So the apps which I showed you in this slide, like issue tracker, portfolio, and to-do apps. So these are like the Django projects which can be created dynamically from the dashboard itself. So that dashboard will be like the Zango dashboard. Okay. And yeah, so suppose you want to create a new project, you can like run the Zango project and go to the dashboard, and you can just click on the launch new app button, and it will create a new app for you. It will apply all the migrations, and your code will be there in the directory. Right. Application security. So we have done a lot of things to improve the security. It contains like most of the data is encrypted, and we have IP tracking, IP restrictions as well. Suppose you created a view and you want it to be viewed only via a particular IP. So you can define it in the code that you just want this view to be accessed via this particular IP address. So that is very, very easy. Like this, all of these things can be done in like just 3-4 lines of code. Package ecosystem. Yeah, so this is kind of really interesting. Package ecosystem is like modularizing the common features that are found in almost every business applications. Suppose you are writing emails, like you want to create a functionality to send an email. So what we have done is we have modularized those email things, and we have created a package for it. And that package is also open source, and this is not like a traditional Python package. It's like a code which is staying on, like which we have hosted, and you can just install that in just one click, and it will be there in your code as well. Observability, yes. So we have also created a module called Optel. It's the full form is Open Telemetry. So what you can do is you can just configure all the the observability tools like Sentry and all those stuff, and you can get all the logs and everything on that, right? So it's like a pretty easy way to configure, and it is all there in the Zango framework itself. Yeah, unlimited customizability. So it's like a Django project only. So you can customize it as per your needs. Any, anything you want to change, it's very, very simple. Okay, so we are going to talk a bit about architecture and how we are doing the things at, like if I divide it in a most simple way, uh, I can say that it is divided into two layers. One is database layer, like how we are isolating the apps and projects on a database level, and then how we are separating it at the application level, right? Okay, so let's first talk about the database layer. Okay, so for isolating the databases, we are using a library called Django tenants. So what does this library do is it divides, like it creates a schema for every app you create in the Zango project. So suppose you are creating a to-do app. So what Django tenants will do, it will create a different schema for the to-do app, and all the migrations will be applied inside that schema only. Like it will be completely isolated from the other schemas, and the other schemas will not have any idea of how the data is stored in other schemas and how it's working in different apps. And each tenant gets a separate schema, which ensures the data is strongly isolated, and it is obviously it will be secure because every schema is different, and it's actually very scalable as well. And there is one public schema which holds all the details related to the tenant and domain names, right? And database layer. Okay, now we will have a look at how it actually works. So Zango identifies the schema from its domain name. Suppose I created a to-do app and I gave that app a domain called todo.zango.com. Now Zango knows that the schema which it has to go to is to do, right? Then it automatically switches the schema and send all the requests to that particular schema. This keeps the like ORM behavior consistent, and it maintains the per tenant boundaries as well. Benefits, like obviously it's a lot more beneficial. It does not need separate databases, so you are saving a lot of cost if you are hosting it somewhere, suppose AWS. So you will save a lot of cost because all the projects live in a single database, and you just have a different schemas for every projects, and it's compliance friendly and regulated for industries. It enables custom workflows per tenant without major code changes. Okay, so let's talk about the application layer now. Database is separated. Now, how we are, checking, separating the code at the application level, like how the Django knows that which app it has to check. Yeah, so we are using the plugin architecture to separate the different projects at the application level, and it Django treats each app, or we can call it each Django project, as a self-contained plugin, and it uses the plugin-based library to dynamically discover and loads the plugin at runtime. We can also say that plugins are like independent Django projects. Yeah, so how it works, it identifies the app name from the Django tenants library from the domain. Like it has the domain, it knows which app it has to go. Then it will search in the workspaces that where is this app. And as soon as it found that app, it will load it into the memory and then it redirects all the requests as per the app name. Yeah, so advantages of this plugin-based design. So it keeps the code really modular. Like you can have multiple Django projects, and all the code will be separated. You can create, like you can handle the projects of multiple clients in a single project. You don't need to create multiple things, right? And it's a plug and play development. You can create new apps, and you don't have to uh, you know touch the other apps to create new apps. And it has cleaner team workflows. Suppose you have multiple teams and they are working on a same project, so you can just assign teams to a different app and they will be working on separately on different apps and everything will be separate, but the main Zango project will be single. And cherry on top, Zango is completely free and open source. It has 280 plus GitHub stars, 20 plus contributors, and 10 plus apps running in production. So we are already running this Zango in production at Zeldi, and it has been working really well for us. It has saved a lot of time and cost, and yeah, we are continuously improving. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you want to like know more about framework, or you can have a chat with me, or you can drop a mail at bhuvnesh@zeldi.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions? Yeah.
Do we have online questions? No? Okay.
Hello, thank you for this very nice presentation. You said that the different tenants live in separate schemas.
Yes.
So how do you manage running migrations in this situation? Do you run them somehow for all of them together, or are they just run separately for each tenant?
Okay, so for migrations, we have to run it for all the apps for now. But again, we are experimenting on one thing. We are trying to, isolate all the Django projects in the development process as well, so that you don't need, like, if you are deploying a particular application, you don't have to, disturb the other applications. So we are experimenting on that thing as well right now.
Thanks for the talk.
Thank you.
How do you manage if, let's say, you have this to-do app and this other app, and they are different projects? If you have, like, this one project needs a package that the other doesn't, because it's like in this meta framework. How do you do this?
For every project, like for every different app, you can install packages separately. Like if you want to install a package in To-Do app, so you can do that. And if you want to install a package in other app, so you can do that as well in that app. So that are also separated. Packages are also separated. They are not in common thing. Yeah.
Hello. You mentioned it was ready for, or some of it ready for certification of ISO 20001. What other examples can you tell us about that? Specifically, because everything is separated, is it also separated in the database as well?
Sorry?
Is it like the admin stuff, for example? Is it also separated in the database as well?
Admin stuff.
For the security side, more specifically, like can a super user see everyone's data?
Yeah.
Bit-
So
even other apps.
yeah, so you have super users, like you have an admin which handles the complete Zango project, right? Then you have users for particular apps. So those are different. Now, if you want to suppose you want to like you want a patient to access your portal, so what you do, you create a role in the particular app, not the whole project, just the app. You create a patient role, and so you create a user, and that you will just assign that user the patient role, and then that patient will be able to access that particular app. That's how it works.
Thank you for your presentation. I think my question actually got answered, so I'll come up with a short one. Where does the name Zango comes from?
Well, that's an interesting question. Uh, hmm.
You can come up with an answer now, or we can talk it over after coffee.
Yeah, I think I'll answer you after this talk.
Thank you for the presentation. If I understood you correctly, so each app has independent packages, for example.
Yes.
So how do you handle that? Does each app has this, its own virtual environment, or?
No, virtual environment is common. Like the packages are not Python packages. These are like the code which which we have hosted on our AWS servers. And when you just install it, like you don't need a command to install. You can install it from the dashboard, the main dashboard. You just click a button, install, and it will download the package from the AWS, and it will apply all the migrations. So that's how it works. And then you can like add whatever things you want to on top of that package.
Say that you've set up and started using this to manage several projects, and then as a company, one of your projects really takes off and is scaling, needs to scale much more largely than the others. Is getting it back out of this framework, if you decide that, okay, this actually needs to be its own thing now, is it getting it back out going to be something you've considered, or something that's straightforward?
Okay, how do I think I think it would be a little difficult, but you can definitely take out the project, but it would require a lot of efforts, because you will have to migrate all the tables from the schema to a new database. Then there will be a lot of code changes that you will require. So you can do it, but it will be a little time consuming. Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. It was very interesting. I kind of have the opposite question. Is it possible to migrate an existing vanilla Django project into Zango? And if so, what are the kind of recommended steps involved, and how much effort is it?
Existing Django projects. I think it is possible, but it will require obviously a lot of efforts. You have to migrate the code, and like you have to create an app for your project. Then you have to manually enter all the data from your existing project into the schemas. But I think it's kind of possible, but quite difficult. Yeah. But I can help if you want. You can just send me a mail.
Thank you for the talk. You mentioned compliance in the slides there. Do you have a mechanism for developing cross-cutting applications for compliance, for instance, to audit all your apps for GDPR, or that kind of structure of application, that kind of workflow for compliance and auditing?
I didn't get your question. Can you say that again?
So for compliance, do you have tooling for auditing across all the apps for a compliance point, such as privacy or consent?
Okay, so for compliance, what you can do is like we have an IP level restrictions that is a different, but for CSRF, you can configure things in the project for each app level. Like if you are like willing to, pass only a number of users, so you can configure that in the project itself. So that's how it kind of works.
The project is one app, such as a to-do, or is it the running Django system?
So you can like it's for per apps different. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Bhuvnesh.
Thank you.
Thank you.